Following his comments Friday on Twitter, senior Nick Haynes was removed from being a captain and replaced by senior wide receiver Charles Walker. We'll have more on that in just a minute. It was senior day at Kroger Field. Steven Johnson, a great moment for him here. Just one of the many players suiting up for their final game in Lexington. It didn't take long for the scoring to start, just not in Kentucky's favor. Lamar Jackson hand off to Reggie Bonifant up the gut for the touchdown, the game's first possession. Lonnie Johnson tackles Lamar Jackson near the goal line. Jackson shoves Jordan Jones, and that is just the wrong person to get into it with. It's a melee, flags flying, penalties assessed. Jones, Jackson, Johnson all given penalties, and after that, Louisville will score another touchdown, this one from Day Walker. So Kentucky finding themselves down 14-0 early, and Benny Snell starts running angry. Rips off a 41-yard run down the sideline. That's going to jumpstart the Wildcat offense, and Snell finishes off the drive by refusing to go down 14-7 on his 17th touchdown of the season. Kentucky clawing their way back into this thing on the back of Benny Snell. He is finally dragged down inside the red zone. That makes it 1st and goal UK. This was not a good moment. He gets rolled up on. He would have to go have his ankle taped. The drive would stall. Kentucky brings in Austin McGinnis, all-time points leader at UK, but it is off the right upright, so Kentucky comes away with nothing, and that was the turning point, because on the ensuing drive, Jackson option pitch to Bonifant, 17-7 Louisville after he breaks the plane. And just before the half, one of the things that they said Jackson has worked on in the offseason, the placement on his fade routes, the perfect one here, 29-yard touchdown pass to Des Fitzpatrick. Kentucky drives the length of the field, 45-yard field goal from McGinnis just before the break. That made it 31-10 at the half. 5 minutes left in the game. Snell, 4-yard touchdown run. That gives him the most touchdowns in a single season in UK history with 18. He had a career-high 211 yards, but it wasn't enough. UK falls to Louisville 44-17. Keith and Allen have more from Kroger Field.
In this game last year, Kentucky came out and punched Louisville in the mouth. This time, Louisville was up 14-0 before Kentucky finally settled down. By then, frustration was settling in, and it poured over on the field.
Forget the lack of discipline, which was terrible. I'm looking for a word that's worse than embarrassed to describe Kentucky. I can't. We're forgetting the obvious, me too. Lamar Jackson, there aren't 10 players in the history of this field who have walked on this field. I think we don't realize he is so good, it's ridiculous. And Stoops was embarrassed.
Not a very good feeling from the opening possession through the end of the game. Not a very good effort on any of our parts.
As a coach, is he the best quarterback you've ever faced?
No question.
Not even close.
No, without a doubt.
What stinks is it's the last game of the year, and this going to sit. This sits with you for a while.
It definitely hurts. I mean, to not only to lose, but to lose like that.
We talked about it all week about disciplined preparation, disciplined focus, but most importantly, disciplined execution.
Because it's Louisville, does this hurt a lot more?
No. Not with me, no. Yeah. I wish we'd have won. I wish that the outcome would have been differently, but never would I be hurt off something like this.
There were times today that that I accept the responsibility for, that I got to get some things corrected, and I will.
It's been a long season. Coach Stoops even said this team needs to get away for a week, regroup, and heal. That's what they'll do before they start thinking about a bowl game.
This is awful. This is disgusting. But they still have won 7 games 2 years in a row. And so I want to take the big picture. As bad as this is today, they're a lot better than they were. They still need to get a lot better. Dorian, back to you.
Well, thanks, guys. And we mentioned that Haynes was removed as a captain prior to senior day as a result of the tweets he sent out late Friday night, blasting the UK coaching staff, accusing them of not caring about the players, instead only caring about a paycheck. And with the way Kentucky came out against Louisville, the question has to be asked, did what happened to Nick affect the team?
I don't think so. I really don't, Alan. I don't know, I don't think any of us like any distractions, when you're getting ready for a big game. And but I can't answer that, honestly for 100 and however many people are in our organization. But I really don't think it did.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, we all understand how Nick feels and what he's going through. I mean, he's one of the leaders on this team. He's extremely passionate. So I mean, he maybe not say exactly what he said or put it on Twitter or do everything all of that. But I mean, no one else loves this team more than Nick.
Georgetown College on the road at Reinhardt in the second round of the NAIA playoffs. The Tigers 0-2 all-time against the Eagles. Georgetown trailing in the first quarter until Derek Pugh punches it in from 3 yards out. That made it 10-7 Tigers, but they fall in the end as their season comes to a close, 17-10. And Kentucky with a grueling stretch of games to start the season, 16 days, 7 games. The final one coming Sunday when UK hosts the University of Illinois Chicago. There's been a lot of teaching his young team the last couple of games, working on more energy, playing as better teammates, but surprisingly, these are habits that Cal is not necessarily trying to break against UIC.
We still have some guys that they have habits that they've got to create new habits. You never, if a guy's been doing something 8 years, you're not going to break that habit. So you got to create new habits. So that thing is not there anymore, even though we're not trying to break it, leave it there, but we're going to do something different.
We'll have more LAX 18 news after this.